What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be reviewing Emily is Away 2. So before I go too much into Emily is Away 2, let me just start by saying that this game is a masterpiece. The first game came out several years ago, and is now free to play on Steam. And I had played this game. I actually paid money for it when it wasn't free to play. I played it maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I was extremely late to the party, although I remember watching Greg Miller and Tim Geddes of Kinda Funny. I watched them play that game for like 5-10 minutes back in like a Let's Play of theirs a long time ago, and I was super like intrigued by the game. I played the first one. I absolutely loved the first game. It took me back not too many years to the high school part of it. As for like the AOL instant messaging, I wasn't even around for when it was like that, or I at least didn't use it. So it has this nostalgic kind of feeling about the first game. And the second game, I was a little worried about it because I didn't know if they could replicate, if he could replicate the first game that he made so well. I honestly think the second game is so much better. It's expanded on the first game. It's a little bit longer, I'd say. It's almost 2 hours long if you take your time in a way. Now, the game does kind of force you to make quick decisions at times, which I like. Here's the thing. This game is super good. It makes you care about these people that don't even have faces. They're just names, Emily and Evelyn. And, I ended up trying to go for Emily, kind of by accident, but the game makes you care about these people without you even knowing, who they are besides what the text tells you. And you don't get to see their names. You kind of get to like imagine yourself back in the day. What I like about this game is it takes place all throughout high school, all in basically the last year of high school, whereas Emily is Away 1 took place every year. Almost, I think it was every summer it would kind of pick up, so a full year would go by in the first game. And I thought that was cool in that you don't really know what happened in the first game. And in the second game, it's around, I think, like 2 months every jump. I know one of them is right before prom. The final chapter is right as you're ending school, right when you're about to go to college. So there's shorter jumps, but I like that because, like, especially the last one, I was, like, afraid, or the second to last one, I was afraid of what was going to happen in between. Even though it was a short time span, I was afraid of, like, what the game does, like what would happen in real life in between those two periods of time. So I chose Emily, and I messed up, and I feel like bad personally, and I am going to replay it to try and get with her for good because, the first game made it extremely hard to actually be with her. In fact, I don't think you could have been with her. The whole point was to get really close to her and actually care about her, which I did, and then it was to kind of like, you have to move on. You have to move away. Things didn't work with her. You could have gotten to the point where you had like a one-night stand with her, but nothing was ever the same. And, that the first game like hurt in that way because you got to care about this person. And this game does the same thing. Now you get to care about two different people, and you're going to care about them differently because you can really only pick to be there for one of the two people. The other one is going to shun you away for not responding fast enough. That's just part of the game's mechanic. So it's up to you which person you want to choose. I chose to let Evelyn go, basically. So I went after Emily. But Evelyn's still in the game and still in your life, which I liked. I liked that they kept these two characters in the game. They expanded upon it with like the whole where you could click on the YouTube videos and it would pop up like the old page or Facebook. And they mentioned, when Facebook is just starting, you get to build a profile where you get to answer questions based on basically the year. Everything, what I really liked about the first one was like the avatars. Like in 2004, Green Day's American Idiot came out, and I was wondering like if that was actually going to be on it, and it was. The American Idiot logo was on it. For this game, they have different bands. They have different games because Emily is a gamer. So there's a God of War one. So there's a lot of cool different things. And then in the end, like, the game brings heartbreak. Like, it makes you care again in a way that I didn't know if it could do. I didn't know if it could make me care as much as I did in the first game. And it did. And this one I felt closer. This one I feel like it's way easier to end up with one of them, and yet I still messed it up because of what I was trying to do in the beginning. And I won't spoil like how they mess you up, but like you gotta stay consistent to what you say. You gotta truly mean the things you say. And if you do, and then even if you the person doesn't believe them, if you want to be with one of the two people, just make your answers the same no matter what. Each person, like, just go to the person that you want to go, answer the questions the way they want to hear it, but stick to those answers for both people, which is the mistake I made. I truly like this game. It's $5. Yes, it's only 2 hours, but you can play it again. Like, I feel like there's actually a lot to be replayed in this game. I messed up. I didn't end up with anybody. Emily and I broke up. So I want to play it again. I want to be with Emily. And then I want to play it a third time, and I want to try and be with Evelyn. Although, just the name Emily and just the way that the game, the game's called Emily is Away, or Emily is Away 2 for the second game. So I feel like I need to go for Emily. But bottom line is, you're going to be able to play this game more than once. So you're going to get more than 2 hours out of it. It's extremely good. What I also like really quickly is the answers, the things that you answer. The game does it in a way where it's very believable. In choice-based games, they don't always answer the way that the response says it would. Nick on the channel has always said before that there's been those issues in The Witcher where you think he's going to say something, and he kind of does, but then he kind of like just turns it 360 at the very end and says something you didn't expect him to say. I think, games like Life is Strange and the Telltale games, I think they've done a pretty good job of nailing what you want to say, but this is a very small game, right? And so it's cool that the answers are only like 2 or 3 words, sometimes only 1 word, but it makes it so that you put out a sentence, and like I remember one of the responses I clicked on, I was hoping that they would expand upon what I thought it meant, and it did. It was almost 2 lines long, and it was exactly what I would have said in that situation. So the game and the guy who made it does a really good job of expanding upon the choices that you can pick and making them most of the time exactly what you would think that you're clicking on. So you're not going to get tricked by the game. Overall, this is a phenomenal game. I don't know if it belongs in Game of the Year contention, but this is a game you're definitely going to enjoy. It's only $5. Go support it. Go support it so they can make an Emily is Away 3. He put a lot of work into this. It's so much better than the second one, and that's saying something because the first one is truly a special game, both emotionally, in the way it tells a story, in the way that it brings you back in the day. Not just, like I said, not for me, it doesn't bring me back for how the layout looks and how Facebook used to look and stuff. It doesn't do that. For me, it just brings back me to 12th grade and brings you back to kind of high school mind of like what you were thinking back then, what it was like to be around in high school and the kind of relationship troubles and stuff that happens and planning for the future and all that stuff. Like, it really brings back memories, and I think that's where it's going to hit a lot of people, especially my age. So, I want to know what you guys think. Have you played it yet? If not, I highly suggest you do. But if you played it, let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Make sure you like this video and share it, and I will see you guys on the next video.